Okay, this entryway, not exactly giving the warm welcome vibes that I want. First impressions matter, and right now, this one's saying, ugh. But I'm giving it a full DIY glow up over the next few weeks, and I'm aiming to do it for just under $500. Think affordable upgrades, smart storage, and just enough style to make you actually want to walk through the door. I'm set on transforming this forgettable entryway into a showstopper, all on a budget. So join me on my journey of making our house a home little by little. Hi guys! We are working with a blank canvas in this space. There is quite a bit to do that's going to take a little bit of time and effort. So let's see if I can get it done. I'm going to walk you through all the different things that we need to accomplish in this space to call it done. We have really textured walls, and I am not a fan of textured walls. It dates the space. I also want to redo this console table. We also have this entryway closet, and this is our coat closet. Now, as you can hear, we have some like really obnoxious noise going on. It's also not very functional. While it's really great for us to put like our coats and everything in here, the previous owners, I guess they like painted in the closet. They never put the shelf back. So we would love to do like some sort of shelf and like bring it up higher so we have storage. I want to do some like built-in system in here. In the ceiling of the closet, there's also orange paint. I don't know what was going on. Today, we're going to be taking the texture off of the ceiling. I don't know if we're going to get to the walls today. I would love to, but I want to be realistic. So here we go. Before I could do anything to the space, I needed to clear it out. That meant moving the console table to another area of the house for the time being, removing the rug, and emptying out the entryway closet. We had so many coats and shoes that needed to be taken out of the closet, but it didn't take a lot of time to get everything out of the way. And before I knew it, the space was cleared out, and I was so excited to get to work. Once I finished clearing out the space, we headed to the hardware store so that I could get all the supplies we needed to start this project. Can you grab it?
I'm gonna grab this one.
Okay. This was a fairly quick trip because I had everything mapped out and I came in knowing exactly what I needed to get. We'll probably have to go to the paint section next because I need like a roller and some other stuff. And of course, my design assistant decided that she wanted to take over pushing the shopping cart, so I fell back and let her do her thing. She made it very clear that she was not going to need my help. Turns out she was in over her head. Okay, so first thing I need to do is fill up this pump sprayer with some vinegar and water, and that's going to allow me to spray the ceiling down and get it nice and damp. Water in here. I'm like not even sure how much I really need. It's not like a huge surface area, so I'm not gonna fill it up all the way. This is a gallon bottle, but I have it about a third filled up. So now I'm going to add some white vinegar to it. I'm just gonna do like a splash. I don't think it needs to be crazy. So I have the HDX sprayer here. I'm gonna assemble this now. Never had, like I don't even know how to assemble it, but we're gonna see. Screws on. Okay, so that's how I like pump it, I guess. And then I'm just gonna spray it on the wall, I guess, first, just to test it out. Well, let's try it out, folks. I'm gonna test it out in this corner first. Oh, okay. What in the world? Okay. It's spraying. That's good, right? This could either go really well or really bad, but I guess I'm willing to take my chances. I used a simple mixture of vinegar and water to lightly saturate the surface of the ceiling and waited a few minutes for it to soak in. This allowed the texture to soften up for the removal process. So I definitely forgot to lay some plastic drop cloth down, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that now so I can avoid any excess cleanup and make cleanup a lot easier. Okay, so I waited about 10 minutes or so, and I have this like putty knife that I already had. I'm gonna try and see if I can scrape off some of these areas. I saw like a hack where you can tie a paper bag to it, and that will allow you to like not make as much of a mess everywhere. So I don't know, let's see if that actually works. Okay. The high point's off for sure, but this is what I've done. Like, I got the high points down in some areas. I don't know if you can see that. Like, the high points are down here, but then like this is how it looks now, like the raised part. Of course, it wouldn't be a true DIY project in our house if my design assistant didn't ask me a handful of questions.
Get it?
Trying to get it smooth.
What is that sound?
The water dripping.
The water dripping?
Mm-hmm.
Why the water dripping? And this too?
And of course, as I moved on to the next step, my design assistant kept those questions coming.
Mommy, why are you doing that at the ceiling?
Because I want it to be smooth.
Mommy, why color the floor?
So it's easy for me to clean up everything. There's a great chance that I might end up regretting this. This is definitely an arm workout, but I'm like almost halfway there, so maybe I have a good chance of getting this looking really nice in the end. So we'll see. If I have from here that way done, and I just need to do from here pretty much to here. So I'm about halfway through. We're getting there. Once my assistant got everything off her chest, I refocused and continued scraping the texture off the ceiling. Spraying the solution on the ceiling was definitely the right call. Everything came off like butter. Probably don't want to fall. Okay guys, so I finished scraping the ceiling for the most part. I just didn't take the light fixture down and do like right around there because I kind of needed the light. It's a mess. Look at me. Can you guys see that? Like, I have the compound all over me, maybe on my face too. I have no clue, but this is the mess. It is crazy in here. Anyways, it's time to clean up and be done for the day. Before I could call it a day, I needed to clean up the mess that was left behind. And I'm so glad that I used these plastic drop cloths because they made cleanup a breeze. I removed the messy drop cloth from the floor and then swept and vacuumed any remaining residue from the flooring. I also forgot to remove our mail and key holder, so I went ahead and did that in preparation for the next day. Before we move on to day 2, I want to introduce you all to the sponsor of today's video, Rolling Dog Tools. Rolling Dog Tools specializes in crafting quality tools for the avid DIYer and professional alike. They have everything you need to get started on a wide range of DIY projects in your home, from painting to finishing drywall and more. One of their products that really stood out to me was their drywall skimming blade set, and this was so perfect because I really benefited from using this set when smoothing out the walls and ceiling of my entryway. This kit comes with a wide variety of blade sizes and refills, and even includes an extension pole and lockable case to keep everything clean and protected when not in use. Rolling Dog Tools also sent me their 18-inch paint roller kit, which is going to be super convenient for me when priming and painting all of the rooms throughout the house. Not only does the set come with a paint bucket, but it also comes with an 18-inch tray and disposable light liners for both. They even include additional rollers and a brush cleaning tool. But I will say the real showstopper in this kit is the 18-inch roller. Using this bigger roller size really cut my paint time down so much in this entryway. They honestly thought of everything when it comes to this kit. Also, if you are an Amazon Prime member, Prime Day is coming up from July 8th through the 11th, and Rolling Dog Tools will actually be participating in the event. So if you're wanting to hold out for some special discounts and great deals, then be sure to go ahead and check out Rolling Dog Tools during the Prime Day event. So if you need to re-up on some painting, drywall, or surface prep tools, check out the link in my description below to place your order and try out your very first set of Rolling Dog tools today. Good morning, guys. It is the very next day. Today we're going to start skim coating the ceilings. I am going to get to the walls, but I don't know if I'll have enough time today to do it, so I'm going to try my best to just get the ceiling done in the entryway. I have my all-purpose USG joint compound that I'll be using to do the skim coating. I'll also be using this 15-inch spiral mixer to mix the joint compound up, and I'll attach it to my drill. I'm nervous, but I'm also hopeful that this will go well. You guys know the drill. Before I could get any work done, it was important for me to cover these floors. Once I was done with that, I was able to move on to prepping my joint compound. Why is it so hard to get open? Ah! Okay.
Yay!
Halfway. Ah! Oh my gosh. Why is this not opening? Oh my gosh. Woo! Got it. Okay. Gonna add some water.
Yeah, water. I love drinking water.
To thin it out. And then we're gonna go in. Oh gosh, I hope this goes well. You gonna help me?
Yeah.
Alright. Mixing the joint compound with a little bit of lukewarm water allowed me to get a consistency that was easy to work with. I was eager to start skimming the ceiling, but before that, I needed to remove this light fixture and scrape the texture off that was left behind on the area it was installed. I also removed the closet door from the entryway so that it was out of the way. Once my all-purpose compound was mixed and ready to go, I started applying the skim coat to the ceiling using a 3/4 inch roller, and then smoothed it out using my skimming blade, working section by section. Working in sections was a lot more manageable for me as someone who has never done this before, and I'm so glad I did it this way because I quickly learned that as the joint compound was exposed to the air and started to dry a little, it became really easy to mess up as I was scraping away the excess from the surface of the ceiling.
Mommy, be careful.
Thank you. It took me a little bit of time, but as I kept moving forward, I was able to find a good rhythm and technique when it came to scraping away the joint compound and getting a smooth surface. I feel like a professional drywaller now. Let me stop. This is like not an easy job, and I definitely tip my hats off to any professional drywaller. It's definitely understandable why they charge what they do. Good morning, guys. It is the next day and we are going to get back to skimming the ceiling. I'm also going to do the walls. First, I want to get the baseboards removed, and then also the covers for my light switches and And I think that's it. Oh, I just made a whole entire dent in the wall. Amazing. Maybe I should stop. What am I doing? I needed to remove all the crusty old baseboards from the entryway before I could do any skim coating to the walls. How do you do this without damaging the wall? Here he comes to show off again.
I'm just trying to
I'm just kidding. It's really in there. What, did they glue this thing to the wall? I definitely had my work cut out for me when removing these baseboards, as there were really thick nails securing them to the wall, and I wore myself out trying to get them out. It was well worth it though, because I was more than happy to get the trim out of there so I can make room for some fresh new baseboards that would help finish the space off instead of screaming for help. It was important for me to also remove the switch plate covers so that I didn't skim them stuck to the walls, and also so I can get as smooth a finish as possible around all the light switches and power outlets. I know it may not seem like I got a lot done this day, but this was one of my busiest days of the week and I really did my best to squeeze in what I could. Besides, one step forward is a step in the right direction, so I really can't complain. Good morning guys, it is the next day and today we are finally going to get to sanding the first coat of the ceiling skim coat that I did, and then we're gonna start tackling the walls. I left you guys off where I was removing the baseboard trim from the walls. I still have this wall to do. We're gonna finish that up and then get everything taped off so we can contain the dust before we get started. Before doing any sanding in the space, I masked off each entry point in the area to ensure minimal dust would travel to other areas of the home. This was really important to keep the space and our home as clean and dust-free as possible, and to make sure that we weren't breathing in any excess dust or particles from the joint compound. I also made sure to mask off the air return vent in the entryway to keep dust travel to a minimum. This was a pretty simple and straightforward step, super simple but very necessary. There was one more area of baseboards that I needed to remove in the entryway, so I did just that before I could get to the fun part. This was the week that convinced me to actually purchase one of those trim puller tools, because I definitely see the value in them after wrestling with these baseboards for the last couple of days. That is like in there. Once I finally got the last piece of baseboard removed from the entryway walls, I was able to move on to sanding the ceiling. So I just finished removing the rest of the baseboards. I have this drywall sander that I bought. I'm actually really nervous to use it. It's a little heavy and I have to use it like kind of overhead like this. So I'm kind of like, what did I get myself into? But we're here, so we need to just make it happen. So we're gonna start now. Of course, I have a fine particle dust mask. I might have to put this on first. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Ow. That's like really tight. I don't even remember how this is supposed to fit, but I have these straps in the back. This is going to be an interesting experience. It looked like I am going into a gas chamber, but here we go. Wish me luck, guys. I'm really nervous, like extremely nervous. Wait. Guys, this is not, hold on. I feel like I'm going into outer space. I need a different, like, system. This is not it. Oh my gosh. I don't know where my other glasses are, but this is like super tight. Now, let's do it. After much delay and hesitation, I was finally sanding down the first layer of skim coat on the ceiling. This was to get everything as smooth and as flush as I could before moving on to a second coat. Why did I want to do this again? I need some muscles. My wrist is hurting. Okay. The problem was, I could hardly hold the drywall sander up over my head for more than a few seconds at a time, and I wasn't making much progress. I don't know about this. Guys, I'm exhausted. This is a workout and a half. Like, this is different. I'm not built for this. Guys, he offered to jump in. How sweet.
Going into surgery.
Good luck. It's very heavy.
Okay.
Hubby saw me struggling to get this ceiling sanded and he jumped in and saved me. I was so grateful that he came and took over this part because I really didn't have it in me and I really couldn't have done it without him. Part of our game plan for this step was not to rush it and to try to take our time because it would be very easy to get dents in the finish. Are you done?
All a day's work.
I just know that was a workout because I only got through half of it and you just finished it off for me.
Yeah, it's my second gym workout for the day.
Look at the floors, guys. This is actually really not bad in comparison to what it would be if we didn't have that. It's not perfect, but it's pretty darn good. And I'll be honest, guys, I don't know if I want to do another coat. What do you think? Should I do another coat?
Yeah.
Oh, you do? Do you feel like this hallway looks or feels taller now that the texture's off the ceiling, or is it just me?
I think it's the light.
The light being gone? Thank you so much for your help.
You're welcome.
Once hubby finished sanding the ceiling, I took over to sand down the high points on the walls. This helped to make the skim coating process a bit easier and would ensure that I didn't need to go in with an unnecessary amount of coats with my joint compound. This was a lot more manageable for me and my little baby muscles than sanding the ceiling, so I was able to get this done without any help. Good morning, guys. It is another day and today we're going to be skim coating the walls. That way everything can dry for 24 hours and cure, and then we can do sanding tomorrow. So let's get into it and yeah, let's see. I'm a little nervous. Looks like I'm getting somewhere pretty quickly. Got it now. Here we go. Skim coating the walls was much like skim coating the ceiling. The big difference here was that I had much more texture on the walls to cover since I couldn't just scrape it all flat before skim coating like I did with the ceiling. It's always important to keep this skimming blade as clean as possible so that you get the best possible results. I found that that wiping my skimming blade off in between passes really helped me to get a really smooth finish, especially on this first coat. Okay, so for the smaller areas here, closer to like my doorway trim, what I'm gonna do to really get into this corner is use like a smaller taping knife and then just spread it, and then I'll use a smaller skimming blade to skim that out and get the texture out from these like tighter spots. Using a smaller putty knife really helped me to have more control when applying the skim coat to these tighter areas. I realized that when scraping off the excess compound from the walls, there was a lot of noise from the raised texture that was still there, and it got me a little nervous, but based on the research that I've done, this is pretty normal for the first coat, and once I went on to do my second coat, it should be a lot smoother and I shouldn't hear as much noise from the bumpiness of the walls. So I have this skimming blade. This is the smallest size that comes in the Rolling Dog skimming blade set, and it's literally the perfect size for this little corner, so I'm gonna use this to skim everything out. With a little bit of practice, just going for it and getting it done, I was really able to find what worked best, and next week you guys are gonna see exactly the kind of results that I got. Hi guys, it is the next day and today we are going to be sanding the walls. We've given it about 24 hours for everything to dry properly and cure, so now I'm going to go in with my drywall sander and I'm going to get to sanding everything smooth. The one thing that really helped me to get through the tedious and back-breaking task of sanding the walls was listening to some music in my headphones. It really helped me not to focus on how exhausted I was, and before I knew it, I was done and ready to move on. In order to sand the smaller areas of wall, I had to use my orbital sander and I chased it with my vacuum, try to eliminate any excess dust. But what I failed to get on camera was how much dust was still produced with this method and how it actually kept setting my carbon monoxide and smoke detectors off. It was really a pain. I'm so tired. I'm definitely gonna have to do a second coat on the walls. That's a no-brainer. Like, I wasn't even gonna debate that one. This is definitely a workout. Like, I don't need to go to the gym because I do DIY. Like, literally, it's all of it is a workout. Like, don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. I'm gonna start skim coating the second layer on the walls. Ceilings, not today. I really don't have it in me, but yeah, let's do it. With a longer skimming blade. I am a little confused because I see like bubbling happening, so I'm like, did I put too much water or did I not mix it good? I'm like so confused as to what's happening, but I'm just gonna smooth it out and we'll see what happens from here. I surely hope I don't have to do 3 coats because I'd be so sick. Because I was definitely betting on this being my last coat. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Applying the second coat of Joint Compound was much like the first, and I was excited because I felt like the finish line was in sight, but I was in for a treat because little did I know at this point that I would need a 3rd coat for the walls before I could prime and paint them. Well guys, this is the end of week 1 working on the entryway makeover. We got quite a bit done, but we still have a bit more to do. Next week, I'll be finishing off all the skim coating on the ceiling and walls, getting everything primed and painted in the space, and getting all of the trim installed on the walls. If you've enjoyed this entryway makeover so far, make sure to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, be sure to check out the link in my bio to purchase your Rolling Dog Tools paint or skimming blade set. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching and be blessed.